Well, Hugo.
Hey there, folks. Sandy with the Arizona Ghostriders here.
Oh.
Guys, I'm trying to do a show here. Come on.
Yeah, and we're trying to do a stunt show here.
Whoa. Let's go back here. Now, how did I get into this mess? I was trying to go down to Tombstone to see how they refitted the historic Oriental Saloon and ran into a couple of stunt fellas you've seen on the channel before. Well, you can guess the rest. Hey there, folks. Let's try this again. Sorry, guys. I'm with 3 stunt guys from the Old Tombstone Western Park here in Tombstone, Arizona. I got Greg Hugo, Dickie Stanley, and Cliff Owens over here. We're going to learn a little bit about them and what they do here. Old Tombstone Western Park, located at the end of 4th Street, is the full-service Western experience. Not only do they have the show, but they have a restaurant, a bar, a shooting gallery, and a mini golf. Well, Old West mini golf. Oh, and right next door to the town is a museum. Hey, what are you doing? Are you working for them now? Oh, come on. When did you guys work at Old Tucson Studios? Want to start with you, Greg?
Started off actually in 77 as an Explorer post, and then I eventually in 79 pestered John Pierce enough to actually hire me for a stuntman.
Cool. What about you, Mr. Stanley?
I started in 89 and got out of there in 90.
Another 90.
Mm-hmm.
You were 11 years old? About that? Yeah. What about you, Cliff?
My first experience out there at Old Tucson when I was 6 months old on the set of High Chaparral.
You did a stunt at 6 months old?
No, yeah.
Oh.
Leif Erikson held me.
Really? Well, seriously, what'd you do? Let's hear about it.
No, I was on the set.
Oh, you were on
My
the set,
father
okay.
was the stunt coordinator at Old Tucson, so I kind of grew up out there at Old Tucson.
Oh my gosh.
68 on.
Wow.
So
That's very cool.
Spent a little time out there.
Well, so tell me, guys, starting with you, Cliff, how do you become a stunt guy? How do you do that?
Yeah, get lucky, I guess. I don't know.
All right. Did somebody teach you? Did you have a...
My dad started my teaching back when I was very young, and had a big break in it for a lot of years now. Dickie here is my trainer, and you know, I've learned a lot from him so far. So.
Well, Dickie, you've taught a lot of people at Old Tucson, haven't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, Rob Jensen was a little snot-faced kid in the 80s, and we taught him how to do everything. Now he's in charge
Hold on a
out there.
second, Rob. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry, Rob.
It's okay, he'll get over it.
Hey, what's the big idea?
Greg, what about you?
Old Tucson was where I learned everything. That and actually going out and doing elementary schools and junior high schools and high schools, showing them what we do at Old Tucson. So.
Oh, very cool. I know you've all been in movies and TV shows, right?
Oh, yeah.
Starting with you, Greg. What TV shows or movies were you in?
You know, it's sad to say, but my claim to fame on that one was Little House on the Prairie. No stunts, just to walk on.
You know, I wouldn't be disappointed by that. A lot of Western historians think that is one of the most accurate Western TV shows ever made, so it's pretty good. By the way, did you meet Mary? I always kind of had a crush on her.
She looked as good in person as she did on TV.
I'm afraid.
Oh, you'll see I'm not so bad. Oops. Sorry.
What about you, Mr. Stanley?
Oh,
You've been in a million films, I know that.
bunch of movies, yeah. Tombstone for one, and Lightning Jack, Young Riders series. Wow. Walker, Texas Ranger, mainly riding horses and such.
It's a great deal.
Hey, don't anybody want to dance?
And Cliff, I know you got some stuff on your belt. What do you got?
No, I got a few. Got my SAG card on Trial of Billy Jack. Well, The Last Hard Man with Charlton Heston. Wow. There's just a whole slew of movies that rolled through Old Tucson there.
Neat.
You got a chance to do a lot of it.
Wow. You guys, you're heroes to a lot of people who are watching this. Unfortunately, a lot of children don't know what the heck you're talking about, but the adults will.
What'd you drum about?
So here's an interesting thing. A lot of stunt people, they come, they go to do different things. But you guys stuck with the Old West theme. So is that because you all have an interest or a passion in the Old West? Greg?
Definitely.
You
Most
definitely.
Yeah, you know, it's funny when I go out to places like Pinnacle Peak and Old Tucson and stuff. If I'm not dressed kind of like this, I feel naked. And it's hard to explain, but it's something that's kind of in your heart.
You can explain it to the police if you don't dress that way.
Exactly.
Because clearly you're not wearing clothes. So.
2 counts of lewd, lascivious behavior and
One count of pure jealousy.
Now, Dickie and I, we go back a pretty long way. It's on the internet. We used to be on a forum together, a historians forum for the Old West, and he's been doing this a long time. But he really is steeped in the Old West, I would say. You've been doing a lot of research, and you make a lot of period-correct leather and all sorts of stuff. So it's safe to say you have a passion for that, right?
Oh, yeah. My dad grew me up watching Westerns, and the first fight scene I actually seen two gunfighters do was at Old Tucson.
Really?
It was his dad and a guy named Danny Harris.
Danny Harris.
The moment I saw that, I wanted to do it. And a few years later, I got the post. I joined the post, Explorer Post 377. We were at Stan's Museum and Village out there by Old Tucson, and then we went to Trail Dust Town, late 70s.
Wow. That's so neat. And you were part of the Explorer Post too, weren't you?
Yeah, out at Old Tucson.
Okay. Cliff, were you part of an Explorer Post, or was Old Tucson your Explorer Post?
My Old Tucson was my Explorer Post.
Okay.
At that point, I was too young to participate in that. So most of what I learned was out on the streets of Old Tucson with my dad and the other actors out there.
Yeah.
And
But you love the Old West too.
Since
you were a little kid.
United or Grasshopper.
Yeah. That's really neat. Guys, okay, let's get to this beautiful set you have here. What do you do here at Old Tombstone Western Town?
We do 3 shows a day, 4 on Saturday, and we do Old West comedy show. It's full of all kinds of inaccuracies.
Okay.
Once you get your historical build up, come on down here and watch the hysterical.
Hysterical. Okay. Hey, thank you guys so much for coming onto the channel here and being a part of it. And thanks for keeping the spirit of the Old West alive, because it's people like you who are forming the young people's interest. So I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Now, maybe you should all bathe a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye. Well, Greg and I had breakfast at the Chuck Wagon restaurant on the property, and the chef, a former stunt actor, shared this little tidbit of info with me. Ladies and gentlemen, Billy Combs, former stuntman. Did you get run over by a stagecoach?
Yes.
On the History Channel?
It was an old Discovery kind of History Channel thing way back when I was I think I was about 22, 23 when they did that.
Okay, how did that work? What'd you do?
Well, they caught me in front of the horses and run at me, and as they came towards me, they had the wind blowing and the dust coming up from the trail. And as I fell into a hole about so deep, and just wide enough for me to fall in. And as I did, I jerked the plywood over the top of it. Well, they had to cut the film in order to make it look like they were a lot closer than they were to me and run over me. But I was still in the hole when the horses came over me the first time.
Well, breakfast and the show were terrific, but I had to hot-foot it down to the Oriental to see the changes before heading home. The last time I was here, it was a t-shirt shop, and now... Rex, move, dude. You're blocking the shot. Now it's back to being a saloon, like when it was owned by Milk Joyce in the 1880s. The proprietors also put on indoor shows as well, so pretty cool. They could use some more period-looking wallpaper, but they're on the right track, and it was great to have a shot of rye there with Greg and his wife. But we'll do more on Tombstone's historic saloons on another trip. Well, folks, that's it for another episode. Thanks for watching. And as always, please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you on down the trail.